Hi, this is Mr. Watson, and in this video we're going to have a quick look at employment sectors. Employment sectors are just a way that we can group areas of employment. So let's think about your journey to school today and how many different sectors you came across. So when you got up, you probably had a bowl of cereal maybe. That would have been grown by the agriculture sector. If you bought the cereal from the shop, which you most likely did, that's the retail sector. If you got on a bus and came to school, that falls under the transport sector. The school itself and everything within it, that falls under the education sector. The school had to be built by somebody, that will fall under the construction sector, just as the architects and engineers who worked in there as well. Teachers also fall under something called the public sector. That means we're funded by people's taxes along with a load of other people. If after school you decided to head down to the beach and you got a bite to eat while you were down there, well, that's the hospitality sector. If you went for a surf or you played some sort of sport down there, that would be the sport and recreation or leisure industry. You would have had to pay for that. Food or something, so that would be the finance sector. Finally, if you fell over and hurt yourself or something like that and had to go to hospital, that would be the medical sector. So if you check on Google in a minute, you'll find at least 42 different job sectors. There are absolutely loads of them. And quite often we find that we might work in more than one of them. So quite often they can cross over. Now let's consider the difference between a job and a career. So a job is something we do in return for money. We go to work, we get paid. Whereas a career tends to refer to a series of jobs that are tied together, commonly in the same job or employment sector. So for example, before I was a teacher, I built mobile phone networks. That meant I worked in the telecom sector. Now, my initial jobs were to do with data analysis. That means I was working in the telecom sector and the IT sector. But I then progressed to being a surveyor, meaning I went out and measured up land and planned to build things. That meant I was now working in the telecom sector still. I was still building mobile phone networks, but I also worked in the construction sector as well. In terms of a career, I went from the data analysis role to the surveyor's role and ended up in a project management role. So all of those jobs were in the same sector, telecom sector. Some of them branched into other sectors, but the whole of the jobs can be grouped together to be a career. So we have things called employment sectors or job sectors, and this is just a way of grouping areas that we can work in. Jobs are different to careers, so a series of jobs makes up a career. Now you might stay in the same job for say 10 years, going to work for the same person or the same company, but what you do on a daily basis over that 10 years will change, meaning that 10 years in the same job also constitutes a career.